Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome again to English grade 11 students. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you're doing well. Today students, we will talk about our lecture 11 from unit 3, and we have a learning outcome that talks about writing formal letters and emails to people in extended academic or professional environments for various purposes. Now, we know that letters are divided into two categories basically. There are formal letters and then there are informal letters. But today we are going to talk about what are formal letters, why do we write them, and we will see an example of a formal letter, and we will also learn the structure of a formal letter, how it needs to be structured, and how it can be academic by using your formal language and academic language. You can also use the same pattern and the same thing for professional environments. For example, for your job application, there can be any complaint letters and so many different kinds of letters. There are so many categories of these formal letters, and we are going to see that formal letters, they are also like emails. They are written for various purposes and they are very helpful for you as a person who is in the environment of academics or in your professional life. So learning about writing, structuring a very good, free of any kind of flawless formal letters are very much important that you write them correctly. Now, there are so many tools as well through which you can make a formal letter. Today we will talk about these two things in detail in our lesson. Here comes your vertical linkage of grade 9 actually, where the SLO of formal letter was addressed to people in extended academic and professional environments for various purposes. So the same learning outcome is connected with your 9th grade previously as well. Now, students, why do we learn writing formal letters? What is the purpose? We come across so many different situations where we are required to write a formal letter. And this is totally different from an informal letter. Everything about it, even the salutations, the body, the closing, is different than an informal letter. So think about a situation where you might need to write a formal letter or email. So what are the situations? You can write your formal letters to your superiors in academic circles, to your principal, to your dean, and you can also write it for seeking a job in your professional that you will be doing when you will become a professional. Even in that situation, there will come a lot of different scenarios where you are required to write formal letters. And same goes with your email. Now, who would you be writing to? This is very much important. You are writing to your superiors, you are writing to the authorities, and what would be the purpose of your message? The purpose should be very much clear, that is included in the subject, because we want to make our message, our letter, very much clear and concise. What tone and style would be appropriate? Now, what do you think about it? Should I include informal style, informal language that I use with my friends and in my friend circle and with my family? Not at all. We are going to use very much formal tone and style so that we are meeting the requirements of that environment, whether it is your professional environment or situation or whether it is in the academic field. So we will be using a very formal, calculated kind of tone and style, and according to which that kind of style and tone which is very much appropriate to the whole setting and environment. So we are heavily relying on formal language. We need to learn the academic language as well. Our words should be very much comprehensive according to the situation. We do not include any informality in our formal letters. So this was the purpose of this brainstorming session. If you are coming up with your ideas, students, you can type it in the comment box. You can share your ideas with your fellows and your teachers as well. Now, what are formal letters? When we are talking about formal, here we are talking about formality. You have to abide by the rules of the situation and the scenario. Formal letters are commonly used for various purposes, such as your job application letter, business correspondence, if you are writing a business letter, your complaints, requests, invitations, and official announcements. So these are all the different purposes for which we are writing formal letters. You can write a complaint letter, you can write to a business, you can write a formal letter to invite somebody for something, for some volunteer job, or for any kind of function or any recreational productive activity that you want the environment and the people, the employees or your fellows to be involved in. So these are all the different purposes of writing and learning about formal letters. Now, students, when you are writing a formal letter, you need to remain focused on your purpose. Yes, this has to be a purpose-driven letter where the purpose is very much clear and why you are writing the letter should be clear as well, so that you do not deviate from the topic or the subject. The readers should be left in no doubt about what is you are trying to achieve. So just for the understanding and the comprehension of the readers, you want to make the letter free of any kind of ambiguities, informality, and the purpose should also be very much clear, such as your letter needs to be precise and to the point. Lengthy, irrelevance, and long exaggerated formal letters are not appreciated, they are not considered formal. So you have to use precise language. Your language structure should be very much clear for the reader as well. Now, here is an example of a very good formal letter. Now, as you can see that this is a full block format because we are starting the letter on the left side. The full block format is always on the right side, left side, and it always ends in the left on the left side as well. So first you will write your address, your information here at the very start. Then you will mention the date for which it is to be delivered or to address, and the date should be written in this format as well. The name of the month in the capital letter, then the date followed by a comma and the year which you are writing the letter. Then you are going to write about the receiver's address, for whom you are writing the letter. So first your information will come, your name or your email, and then your address followed by a space, and then the date, and then you can write your receiver's address here. Now, you can notice that this is for the editor of Dawn News, Dawn Media Group, Block and Gulberg 3. This is where it is located. This is the address that your letter will reach. And this then you can write the city and the country as well. You will give a space over here and then mention your subject. What is the subject? The subject includes the whole crux. In very few words, in a very short line, you can write your subject. So this is for urgent need to improve condition at our city zoo. Now, by reading the subject, you are very much clear about the purpose of the writer. The purpose is to alert the authorities and to give a very good information and alarming to highlight alarming situation about the city zoo. Now, then you will give a space and then your salutation. Respected editor, then you will add this comma over here. and you can start your letter right under this comma. I'm writing to you on behalf of the students of our college government. Now, this is the body of your formal letter. This is the body. It can contain multiple different paragraphs, and each paragraph should include an idea followed by the next paragraph, which has another ideas. Your problem identification, your solutions will be in the body of the formal letter. I'm writing to you on behalf of the students of our college, Government Boys College, to express our collective concern regarding the poor conditions at our city zoo. As young citizens who deeply care about animal welfare and the integrity of our community's attractions, we feel it is our responsibility to bring these issues to public attention through your esteemed newspaper. Now, in this few lines, you clarified your objective of writing the letter. I'm writing to you on behalf of the students of our college. Then why are you writing it? Because you deeply care about animal welfare. This is the purpose of writing this formal letter, and you want to make the conditions which are very much poor at this point to make it better. Now, in the next paragraph, this paragraph 1, talks about your purpose, why you're writing it. It is very much clear. Now, in the next paragraph, you will say, during recent visits to the zoo, we have observed numerous instances of neglect and inadequate care of the animals. Many enclosures are visibly unclean, and the animals appear malnourished and distressed. For example, we noticed that the water in several habitats was dirty and the animals lacked sufficient food. Moreover, the zoo's infrastructure is deteriorating, broken fences, insufficient shelter from harsh weather conditions, and a lack of enrichment activities for the animals are evident throughout the facility. These conditions not only endanger the animals but also pose safety risks to visitors. So in this paragraph, you cleared and you portrayed and described the whole unclean and unhealthy, poor condition of the zoo. You have identified the problem and now you are going to give some solution. The situation at the zoo is unacceptable and requires immediate attention. We believe that animals, even in captivity, deserve to live in environments that cater to their physical and psychological needs. You are proposing some solution for the problem. It is crucial that the zoo management takes urgent steps to improve the living condition of these animals. How can they do it? They can do it by providing proper nutrition to the animals, clean water, medical care, and enriched environments that mimic their natural habitats as closely as possible. Now, you have given the solution here in the previous one. In the previous paragraphs, you mentioned your purpose of writing, and then in paragraph 2, you highlighted the problem in the body of the letter. Now, your body of the letter continues with another paragraph, and now here you are emphasizing on it more by saying that we hope that by highlighting these issues in your newspaper, we can galvanize community support and prompt action from the authorities responsible for the well-being of the zoo's animals. Thank you for considering our letter and for your continued efforts in advocating for important community and ethical issues. Now, here at the closure, this is the closing of the letter with a thank you note, with emphasizing and with telling the reader that you are waiting for the reply and urgent, very urgent necessities and things that are needed to be done in order to save the city's youth. Now, and then you close it by saying yours sincerely or yours faithfully, and then you end it with your name. So, did you notice that here we ended the letter on the very same left block, since it is a full block letter? You mentioned your paragraphs, your problems, your solution, and a very good enclosure when you are closing the letter with emphasize that you're waiting for the reply, and this will be better for the whole different kind of animals, and it will ultimately improve the quality of the zoo. Now, this letter, the purpose of writing this letter is to make the editor understand it and then publish this letter maybe in the opinion piece or in a letter to the editor part of a newspaper. You want this letter to be published in the newspaper so that it will reach to the right authorities who are responsible for this poor condition of the city zoo. Now, you can notice that the language used over here is very much formal. You used your first person narrative, the first person point of view, and you used the formal language, academic language, and a very professional language. Now, if you don't use academic or formal language, then this letter will be so much longer than it needs to be. So in order to shrink it and compress it into a very good, comprehensive and concise letter, you just follow a systematic way and a very good order of format that you are following in this formal letter. Now, if you want to write any kind of email, then first let us see what is an email. Email stands for electronic mail. Now, this is done using the internet, using different services of email providers like Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, etc. Now, it is the easiest and cheapest way of communication. It is used in formal, semi-formal, as well as an informal way. So you can write your email in both of these different kinds of purposes. You can do you can make and write a very formal letter for academic and professional settings. You can write a semi-formal kind of email, and you can also write a very informal email to your siblings or to any kind of people who you are sharing informality with. Now, this is a replacement of a formal letter because formal letters are actually, it requires paper, formal letters are needed to be submitted, but emails are very much quicker, they are very cheap to write. Now, students, if you can see over here, I hope it is very much visible. This is a very good template or sample of a formal email. First, as you know, you have to mention your email. For sending it to additional people, you can include their email address as well. And then you can write the subject and also the receiver's email, who will going to receive the email. The subject is insensitive tourism in Pakistan's mountains. This is the subject. It is very much clarifying it, just like in the formal letter. Here, you will mention your salutation. If you're not sure about the gender of the person who's receiving it, you can do respected sir / madam or dear sir or / madam. Respected sir or madam is very much formal. Then you come to your main body, just as you did in the formal letter. The main body is talking about the actual issue. I am writing this letter or this email, since this is also like a letter, this is an electronic mail. I am writing this letter or mail to address my concerns and complain against XYZ resorts. We have not mentioned any name, but you can mention the name, whose activities are not respectful of local cultures and have been inconsiderate of the environmental impacts of construction and operation of tourism facilities. In this 3 lines, 2.5 line, you very much clarified that why you are writing this letter or this email. This exacerbates the environmental challenges that the region and its people are already troubled with, then you are closing the email by saying, I request you to take serious action against the aforementioned in order to protect beautiful northern areas of Pakistan. Best regards, and then your name. You can mention your more detail, your mobile phone number, or your any other kind of contact information. So this is exactly it is very much formal, but this is an email. So it's very short, concise, and to the point. If you want to add additional attachments, photos, documents, or any kind of attachment, you can attach it in the email. There is a facility provided, there's a feature that is available, and you can link additional information, documents with your relevant email. So in this way, you can create a very good and formal email. So now students, I hope that the format and the structure of both formal letters and email is very much clear. Here for the homework, what you're supposed to do, that you have to write formal letters. They are commonly used. Now you have to write different kinds of formal letters. You can write a formal letter to the editor, you can write one to your employer, you can write one to your principal or your head of the departments, and for various purposes. You can also write to the authorities, to the different kinds of members of authorities who are responsible for all these actions and all of these different operations. So the homework is that you find different kinds of emails, different kinds of formal letters. One such document is attached. I would like you to see that. Now that document includes different kinds of formal letters. Here the format is clear, and then you can see all those information about writing a formal letter. Here is a template of formal letter that you can follow. You can include different details in the paragraph, why you are writing, explain the situation, what do you want the reader or the company that you're addressing, what are they going to do, what is the thing that you want them to do. Then you will write a short in closing thanking the reader or the company. Thank you for your consideration, thank you for your time, and then close it with your. Now, here's a sample of a complaint letter. Now, if you want to write a complaint letter, you have to follow the same format as well. So this document contains all these different kinds of formal letters. This is for job application. This is for apology letter. This is sample letter to the editor, and so on. So you can notice these different kinds of formal letters, what is common between them, how you are going to structure them, and how you're going to write it in a very comprehensive and concise way. So I hope students that the learning outcome is very much clear. We talked about writing formal letters. We talked about structuring it in full block format, starting from the left and ending in the same side. We also talked about writing emails, what is the structure. Your email will come first, then the subject, the receiver's email, the sender's email, all that will be included. If you want to reach out some other people, including, then you want to add different emails, and then you have to write it in a very comprehensive way, and the formal email has to be in an academic situation, and it has to be very much formal. Thank you so much, students. I hope that I've successfully covered the learning outcome with you. So students who have joined us online, Aima, are you having any kind of problem? Did you understand the learning outcome?
Yes, sir.
So what was that about?
Formal letter and email.
Yes, they are totally in the formal setting. You can always go for some additional information by watching YouTube videos, finding out PDFs that are having formal letters. You can follow the template and write any letter that you can. Now, for an assignment, you can write a complaint letter to a company, or if you have booked a reservation for 3 people and when you reach there was no reservation appointed for you, then you can write a complaint letter. You can write a thank you letter that to a colleague who have invited you for dinner. You can write a thank you letter to the company. You can write a thank you letter for the employer to select you for the job. Now, all these different environments, you can successfully cover this learning outcome and write formal letters. Now, in the examination, in exam point of view, you will be given so many prompts to write formal letters. Either it's a complaint letter, job letter, or apology letter, and all those letters. Thank you so much, students. Take care of yourself, and Allah Hafiz.